I think you're related, right? And so you have the first benefit, which is that you crystallize the lesson. The second is that you're accountable to that lesson because there's people who are watching it who are like, hey, I thought you said that you didn't want to do a lot of these things. You can't be CEO of multiple things, right? Right, and so it holds you accountable to that. And then the third benefit is that you actually make money from it because people will identify with your values and your beliefs and say, hey, I'd like to do business with you. And that, if you see that as gravy, then you won't lose because you never did it for them to begin with. So instead of giving a non-answer to like, what's the one thing that you think you attribute a lot of your success to? I actually do have some answers. One is the time blocking thing that I made a video about the other day, which is like my productivity system or something, some YouTube headline. But basically the maker manager time, understanding the difference in those things. But the second is that, okay, if I can maximize my maker manager time, then I maximize the raw unit. But now I want to get the most for that time. And I think this, what I'm talking about today, with crystallizing those lessons, has been probably the second most valuable thing that I've done in my career. So it's I need to make time so that I can do the work that matters most. And then I need to document the mistakes that I made so that when I do that work that matters most, I'm actually working on the work that matters most. And so using the video game analogy, it's like if Alan were a video game and I'm trying to win at that game, then I've got a co-op player, my wife and business partner, who doesn't want to play the game. It becomes very hard to win when you're doing co-op and one player doesn't want to play or wants to win at a different game, right? And so there are a lot of lessons, not just that one, that I learned from Alan as a company. And I've learned lessons from every company I've had. But not being able to look back because it was so long ago would increase the likelihood that I am forced to replay that level again, because I wouldn't remember why I failed. So if you had to apply the woman in the red dress to a video game scenario, it would really be like trying to play two video games at the same time and win at both. Like, just think about how crazy it is. So like, there's two ways you can think about it. One is that you literally try and play both games at the same time, which obviously no one's gonna win. What's crazy is that entrepreneurs do this all the time. The second scenario might be a little bit more realistic, is that you're alternating between games. It's like one day you play this game, one day you play that game, one day you play this game. But if you'll notice that when you do that, you're kind of like rusty. You kind of like gotta like get yourself right back up to speed. Like your hands gotta like, you gotta learn the key. Not like, you're just rusty, right? You gotta get read up or sped up. Now do that with 3 games. And you're playing one game, A, B, C, A, B, C. Well, imagine the guy who's just playing on A. That guy's your competitor. He's gonna not be 3 times better than you. He's probably gonna be like 6 or 9 times better than you, because not only is he spending 3x the time on the actual game as you, but he also doesn't have the cost of change and the cost of getting caught up to speed every single time. And so he might be 6 or 9 times ahead and you're like, how is this guy beating me? It's like, because he's not doing anything else. And so I like to think like, how would I play this game if I had to win? Like there was no option for failing. Well, I definitely I wouldn't be playing any other games. I definitely would orient my entire life around the video game. I would definitely make sure that like food was brought to me, drinks were brought to me. I'm, sleeping optimally. I've got everything that I need, my lighting, all that stuff would be optimized so that I could just play this game. And the people who make the most money in business call it the game. The reason the show is called The Game is because I think everyone is in the game. It's just that a lot of people don't know it. And so as soon as you realize that you are playing a video game with money in business, then all the same rules apply. And you want to have your prima official strategy guide next to you of all the lessons that you've learned along the way. It's just that this game has way more than 10 keys on a keyboard and way more players because everyone in the world is playing, and there are no rules besides not going to jail. And so you have a true open world game with real stakes and players that have been playing for 60 years who are competing against you. And so I just want to do everything in my power to make sure that I increase the likelihood that I can win. So if you aren't documenting your successes, start. If you aren't documenting your failures, start. You can also not. Doesn't really matter. When I didn't do it, I made a lot less money. When I started doing it, I started making a lot more money. And so I would say do it whatever way you can. If it's just Twitter and tweeting it, or if it's an email chain to yourself, or it's an audio message to yourself, or just when you're driving, whatever version of that it is, as long as you make you the main audience, then you won't worry about the reviews. You won't worry about the performance. You'll just get better at it. And I think that, honestly, having done 700 and something solo podcasts up to this point, I've gotten better at talking just because I was forced to. If you listen to my early podcasts compared to now, I'm more articulate. How did that happen? Because I did it a shitload of times. And so the same thing will happen to you, and you'll actually get practice on making content, on presenting to your staff, on presenting to your team, on presenting to customers by doing it more. So a question from the audience is, do you see Layla as your guide? So I think there's like guide with a capital G and then guide with a little g. So guide with a capital G would be the assumption that like Layla is my guide in life, and the answer would be no. I would say that we're partners. We do these things together. But within the context of the story, in that instance, yeah, she came in with the insight, and that's what changed the character, got me over the obstacle, and got me to the next thing. And I think we both played that role for one another throughout our careers, and having somebody like that. The hard part is just finding somebody who actually wants you to win. It's so rare. Everybody has their own agenda, and it's how you can help them win. And so, I mean, that's why I think at least, husbands and wives have the most aligned incentives. And so it